a question for both of you on power prices. Political leaders have been promising cuts to power prices for close to 20 years now, and it's fair to say that over that period prices have only gone up. Both of your parties have made promises to cut power prices. Given the scale of the task required to replace Australia's ageing coal-fired power fleet, do you think political leaders need to be more honest with voters about the costs of the transition? And are you concerned that repeated broken promises on prices will undermine the political support required to bring Australia's energy grid into the modern age?
Well, thanks, Ryan. I understand your question. That's why I was careful in the answer to the first question. It would have been easy for me to make a commitment about power prices when you've got geopolitical, economic environment changing so rapidly. I chose not to because it is difficult to predict. And you're right. You know, we said things in the last election. Angus Taylor said things at the 2019 election about power prices, which he missed by a country mile as well. That is correct that those promises have been made, including by Angus Taylor, and then he did hide an energy price rise at the last election, which I thought was the most cynical thing I've seen in politics. Look, what we say is, as I've said several times, I don't pretend this is easy. I mean, we're not doing this for fun. We're doing this because the planet depends on it and because it's a massive economic opportunity for our country. That's why. And because some fundamental things don't change. The fundamentals that renewables are the cheapest form of energy, even with the cost of storage, even with the cost of transmission, renewables remain the cheapest form of energy. That's what the science tells me. Others disagree, including some who've asked me questions today. But it's true. It happens to be true. Does that mean it's easy or without setbacks? No. But that fundamental truth remains. And that is why we have to stay the course on that. Not the risky change of course to cap renewables at 54%, as Ted would like to do, and wait for nuclear, which might or might not work. It would take at least 12 years, even on his calculation. We choose a different course, which is, we say to the Australian people, the best way forward because it's based on all the science and evidence.
Oh, look, Ryan, you just asked both Chris Bowen and me a question about honesty. And Chris, your answer is full of lies, mate. Well, I mean, talking about the coalition.
Don't you agree that renewables are the cheapest form of energy?
Capping.
What's in your modelling?
Technology.
It's in your modelling. 54%. It's in your document. Here,
Ryan, is the problem. I think you're spot on with your question. And at the end, I think you said something about, you didn't use the expression social licence, but in order for people to come on the journey, right? I believe a big problem we've seen over the last 3 years has been the treatment of regional Australia in particular, who's carrying the burden of Labor's policies. They've been steamrolled here. And you can't expect communities, let alone the whole country, to come with you when you treat them with reckless indifference. That also comes, therefore, to the energy transformation itself, which is why we've been very clear. Here are all our economic costings. This is what it is. Open for criticism. Here are all the assumptions. We did that last year in terms of the journey to 2050. We've done that when it comes to the gas policy. We've been very clear about some of the risks here. I mean, one of the biggest risks under Labor is the network charges, right? Which is why before I was saying our gas policy will get the wholesale down by 8%, but it's only about 3% of your retail bill. That's because Labor's building up to 28,000 kilometres of transmission lines. We don't know the impact yet next year on that.